Getting to be a little more snow up there all the time. Gray skies today. Doesn't feel very warm, but it's 27 degrees, which compared to 15 a few days ago, it's downright balmy. Good morning. Oh, I just went into my little trapping shed here, looking for my beaver stuff, and I got packrat number 17. I thought we were done with them. Haven't seen any sign of them here lately, but I looked in here and I thought, well, that trap doesn't look quite where I left it, because it's got a packrat in it. Dang dirty things. Let's see here. Yeah, look at this little booger. Need to clean that nest out of there. Whoops. His ears poking up. Need to clean that nest out of there, but I figured, well, if there's any more, that'll attract them some. So, get him out of there. Man, I don't like packrats. This thing smells so bad. They're so destructive. Just nasty. We decided it would be a good day to run up the hill and get a little firewood and check on them beaver ponds, make sure they're not frozen, and then maybe I'll bring the trailer over tomorrow. I gotta go through all my trapping stuff and find it all. Young bighorn ram is standing here. I like them sheep. They're not as big as people think. They're about the size of a deer is all. Well, this isn't a good sign. This is a lot lower elevation, and this pond is frozen over already. Anyway, go see what we can find out. Now that deer season is over, here's several deer and a real easy buck just right off the road. Not very big, but he's a lot bigger than what we got. This one here down the road, I think he looks like a pretty good one. He is a nice deer. See if we can't get a better look at him. Oh yeah, look at this deer. Yeah. Never fails.
Oh yeah, look at him.
You know, and even that, he's not a super giant, but he's a nice buck. I'd be thrilled with that. There are some late muzzleloader hunts and stuff you can go get, but general rifle season is over for the year. It used to be that if you didn't get anything for general rifle season, you could get a muzzleloader stamp or a late archery hunt stamp, but they don't do that anymore. You have to pick one. And we got the the general rifle season. There are some late buck hunts with with a regular rifle, but it's a drawing, and there's only, I think, like 5 tags or something for this area. It's really hard to come by. So he's probably pretty safe, which is a good thing. I mean, I'd like to get him, and most people would, but maybe he'll make some more and there'll be a few next year. Who knows? Well, there's more. Lily loves the snow. More snow up here than I thought there'd be. We just come down a pretty steep slope. We might not make it over to the beaver ponds today. We probably should have turned around before we got this far up here. But this firewood is easy. Look at this. They come through and they cut a fire break a couple of years ago, and all these logs are pretty dry. So, see what happens here. Still smoking. There's smoke, there's fire. Hopefully not much of it. Well, this ain't good. I fixed those the U-joints. It's not my U-joint. Doggone yoke in the back of the back axle just fell out. Drive line's laying on the ground. Wonderful. We made it home. Thanks to Jeff and Greg. Called, well, some folks come by and asked if we needed help, and I told them, well, yes and no. I don't know what you can really do. And they said, well, there's somebody to call. And I said, yeah, call Jethro Bodine. And they come up to help us, and they ended up throwing all my chainsaws and probably what we have like 6 guns in there, and all my tools and stuff into my little trailer, and Jeff held it home for us. What happened was on the end of your drive shaft where it goes into the pumpkin and the differential and all that, there is a nut on there that holds that spline shaft into the differential, and your drive lane hooks to that. Well, somehow or another, I mean, I just replaced those U-joints. That wasn't the problem. But I have a feeling that thing vibrating enough, it took out that oil seal, and it took out the bearing inside of the pumpkin, the differential in the axle. And so that little nut come off, and the pinion gear slammed into the ring gear, and it locked up the rear end of the truck. And so we were stuck. We couldn't go anywhere. Most of the time, if something like that happens, you can take the rear drive line out, put it in 4-wheel drive, and you still drive home with the front drive line. We couldn't even get out of the road. The gears are not the gears are not lined up right, and it's not meshing. And so this is going to be a tow truck deal, I'm afraid. And it's, I think, the only time that I can ever remember that we couldn't at least get somewhere. I mean, we've had times where Greg and Jeff have come and helped us pull us out of the mud, or somewhat or another, but we've always been able to drive it home on our own that I can remember. We might have been towed a couple of times, but at least it was rolling. We got it home. This time I had to leave this thing right square in the middle of the road. So we took some flagging ribbon, and we kind of made some I don't know, like road flares out of the flagging ribbon. and it's still sitting up there. I mean, we are stuck, and in the morning I'll have to call the tow truck, and they're friends of mine too, but we do have towing insurance. I'm really glad. The plan today, I was going to take my camper up there and drop it off at them beaver ponds, and get everything going on that. Instead, we decided, well, why don't we go check on those beaver ponds, see if they're frozen up or not, and we'll cut a little bit of firewood for my Uncle Bill that lives down the road here. And then if everything looks good, I'll take the camper up tomorrow. So, oh, what a mess. I'm glad things worked out the way they were. That little utility trailer is a lot easier to unhook and hook up again than that big old camper would have been. So, I mean, it ain't even a big camper, but it's big enough. The utility trailer, you can grab the tongue of that and move it around. It's not very heavy. This thing, you couldn't, and I can't roll my truck. It's the gears are locked up. It's stuck. So, anyway, this, I'm afraid, is probably going to be a little bit expensive. Fun stuff. So, anyway, what happened here is the bearing inside the rear axle of the truck in the rear end, it went out, and it's got the gears all bound up. I was picking out some big chunks of roller bearing and things. I'll probably have to show them tomorrow. But they're canister shaped, but they are roughly the size of jelly beans. It's a big bearing. And when I took the rear cover off of the differential, of course, all the oil that was left in there, it all dribbled out. And if you ever been around 90 weight, it stinks. And it's all over the road, and I'm kind of rolling around in it, trying to stay out of it. And I got my hair stuck in the 90 weight. And anyway, I smell like a stinky rear end. And I do too. I mean, it's pretty nasty. So, and then we ran into a friend of ours up there, and I'll have to show that here. He caught 2 otter in one trap. They both tried to swim through the same conibear at the same time, and he whacked them, and he got a beaver. He's trapping those ponds that I wanted to trap also. I didn't know he was in there, and there's plenty of them there for 2. And he told me that road is getting icy enough. He was going to pull out too. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to happen this year or not. Everything's just kind of falling apart. The forest fire kept us out of there, and now my truck's broke down, but I really would like to do it. I mean, it's a couple of years now I've wanted to have this beaver camp, and this is the first year in this spot. There is another spot that is probably almost 100 miles away, but there's 12 miles worth of beaver ponds there. There's lots of them in there, and I've been wanting to go over there, but it's quite a ways. And it's in the mountains, mountain passes and things, and icy roads. My trailer does not have trailer brakes. They're under there, but they're not hooked up. I'm not really sure how to hook them up. I'm gonna have to look into that. We just run into a friend trapping back here, and we got 2 otter in one trap, one conibear. Pretty cool. Never had that happen.
No.
And a beaver too. It's a good sized beaver. Huh, cool. Anyhow, big plans usually kind of fall through sooner or later. Seems like it's going to do it again this year. But with a little bit of luck, I'll still get it pulled off. Anyway, tomorrow, I gotta get the tow truck to get my truck home and try to fix that now. Oh boy. Thanks for watching, folks, and see you tomorrow. Bye.